Hello everyone, especially to our Destiny Jackson Foundation mentees. Today I will be reviewing the book Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson, and I will be looking down at my phone because I have some questions that I want to answer for you just to provide you with greater insight into what I actually felt and think about the book. So first we will be discussing realism, okay? Were the characters real and realistic? Absolutely. I would say that they were, quite naturally, because we had real people here. This was not a fictitious story. We had real cases, real people, real problems, real struggles, real plights, a whole lot of realness and a lot of authenticity. So that was just pretty easy to answer. Number 2, does solid character development exist? Absolutely. I would say so. I mean, quite naturally, you had sometimes tedious processes that Stevenson had to describe, especially with what needed to be done at what time in regards to working for, his clients, which were death row inmates. So, in terms of character development, we would see sometimes them develop over time, maybe in their life, or maybe their cases would develop at the next point. But overall, I think that the author did a decent job, well done, of introducing what it is that we needed to know for each specific character so that we could have a seamless flow or just a idea of how it is that the character developed and how it is that the character's case developed. So for the most part, it was in chronological order. Question number 3 relates to cultural literacy. So does the content that's embedded within the book add to the reader's cultural literacy? I would say so. I would say that if you have an interest in prison reform, mass incarceration, just try and try again theme, the theme of try and try again, or the theme of never give up, or the theme of nothing ever goes as planned, then this would be an interesting read for you. And quite naturally, if the reader understands that we're dealing with folks who are from a lower socioeconomic class, then it's pretty easy to understand their plights and their struggle and understand the fact that they were receiving complex sentencing, harsh sentencing, and also they didn't have the resources or access to the resources, the legal resources that they needed. So in negative implication, we had a lot of individuals on death row, some who were even innocent, and also some who had to deal with that sentence, that harsh sentence at that time because they didn't have proper representation. Question number 4 relates to the plot. So was the plot intriguing or multidimensional? Definitely multidimensional because we had multiple characters. We had multiple cases, multiple stories, a lot of anecdotes, some statistics were in there. So that added to the dimension and the complexity. But overall, it still was easy to follow. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was the story emotionally compelling? Yes. And I say that because I cried twice. I tweeted about that when I actually cried. I don't remember the last time I cried for a book, but the story was actually compelling. I completed the book in 9 days. And I finished the book around 2 o'clock a.m. I never stay up that late, ever. Can you believe that? But I finished Just Mercy around 2 o'clock a.m. in the morning. I know, right? When I was crying, Mom was like, oh, what's going on? And let's see. Is the story verbally beautiful? I would say that Stevenson's wordage evoked visual imagery, and that's always nice, right? When you can read a story, and you may not be there, but you can visually play out what's occurring through the sentences or through the words. That is just beautiful. That's just so rewarding to read. I had to make sure just now that the camera did not cut off on us. So yes, the story was verbally beautiful and it was well balanced. It wasn't too dense and it also wasn't too flowery. Okay, last element we will discuss. Would you read the story a second time. Absolutely. I would be eager to read the story a second time. Believe it or not, my first read, the book was loaned to me by a former professor, former college professor. So I would definitely invest into this book. And I think it also will be a great read for my children. That'll be way down the line. But the overarching theme of perseverance and struggle and possibly going through legal plights, and if you don't succeed, try and try again, and things may not go as planned, those are overarching themes. And I think if you can relate to that, or if you enjoy tapping into that, then you would enjoy this book. And I know that for our kids with parents in prison, you should read this book. Just Mercy is a book for you. I think you should read it. And let me repeat, let me just emphasize, I am not being compensated monetarily to tell you this. This is just something that something is on my heart, and I know that it will help you and benefit you and provide you with more of an asset rather than a liability. It's my job to tell you. That's what God put me here on this earth for. Okay? So if you have a parent in prison, and if you're one of our DJF mentees, then absolutely, I would recommend Just Mercy to you, gifting it from me to you. I'm gifting this book to you. And also, I would say that even if you can't relate to all of the stories that are in Just Mercy, you can relate to some of the emotions that the characters feel, or even some of the emotions that Stevenson embodied, right? I think that you can definitely relate to that. It's just real world issues, real world emotions, and quite enlightening and eye-opening at best. So that was my review of Just Mercy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, donate to the Destiny Jackson Foundation so that we can continue to see our kids with parents in prison thrive and excel in the 21st century.